Having a healthy relationship with food can be really challenging. It could also seem abstract as well, but we see messages every day saying that there's a good food, there's a bad food, you should eat this, you should never eat that. The list goes on, and we have to, of course, respect and honor that food is nourishment for our physical bodies and nourishment on a cellular level. And so it's really important to pay attention to consuming whole foods and a variety of foods that do contribute to your health and prevent chronic disease and nourish your physical body. But food is also more than just that physical nourishment. It is a way of connecting with our friends, our family, our community, to other cultures, exploring new things, experiencing pleasure and enjoyment from it. And that's okay. Food is also something that we can't live without, meaning that it literally is present in our day-to-day life multiple times a day for as long as we live. And for most of us eating, let's say 35 meals a week, there are 35 opportunities or more to nourish our bodies, or 35 ways we can stress out about food depending on how you look at it. But stressing out about food can really contribute to more not only unhealthy behaviors around food, but also practices and actions that really tweak your balance out. So in this video, I'm going to take you through 5 steps to practice to begin making a healthier relationship with food for yourself. First things first, cultivating a healthier relationship with food isn't impossible, and it's also not something though that happens overnight. It requires a lot of self-compassion, it requires patience, practice, and many times it also requires some professional practitioners who can support you in your journey. You're also not alone if one of your goals is to cultivate a healthier relationship with food. In fact, did you know that there are so many factors that influence and play a role in how our unique relationship with food forms? These factors include cultural, evolutionary, social, family, individual, socioeconomic status, psychological. It's not uncommon for people to use food as a coping mechanism, for example, when they're dealing with stress or feelings of boredom or anxiety or joy, or even to prolong feelings of joy or happiness or peace. And while this may help in the short term, eating to soothe or to band-aid or to numb your feelings can really increase the amount of negative feelings around food, which can cause further stress and also further attention and zeroed in focused on food. And it may feel really difficult to define what a healthy relationship with food looks like, what it feels like. So I want to start there, because sharing with you what a healthy relationship with food might be like, and again, this is going to be very, very different for everyone, but it can help you start to cultivate what you might be feeling. So having a healthy relationship with food could mean that you enjoy foods that you understand are promoting better long-term health and health outcomes. So for example, recognizing that eating enough protein per day contributes to maintaining your lean muscle mass, and it contributes to many cellular functions. It also could mean that when you eat healthy fats, you know that you're supporting your cardiovascular health and your brain health, or that eating whole food carbohydrates give you really great energy to fuel your brain, fuel your body, your day, and it allows you to carry out with those actions that you need to take. It could also mean that you feel little to no guilt or shame or regret around the choices that you make around food. It could also mean that you might be more mindful around the times when you slow down and you enjoy the food and you're present for that experience. It also tends to mean that you're eating until you're comfortably full and then eating again when you feel physical hunger. So you're really paying attention to those cues. It's also about giving yourself open relationships to food, as in not identifying something as clean and dirty, good, bad, on and off limits. It's things like not planning a makeup meal or assigning a planned cheat day or excuse to binge and overindulge. On the flip side, some examples of unhealthy attitudes to food might include some of these key phrases I've heard before. I feel awful, so I deserve to eat things which are bad for me. Or I want to eat to feel better. I've got no willpower. I've eaten once, so I might as well eat the rest. I shouldn't waste food. I can start tomorrow. After hearing what a healthy relationship with food might look like and what it doesn't look like. Let me know if this is something that you've been struggling with recently below. Let me know around this video, and also maybe what you've realized with that. So now that you have a quick snapshot of what a healthy relationship with food may look like and why it's really important, here are the things to do to help you really cultivate that healthier relationship with food. Number 1, start by journaling and defining what a healthy relationship with food looks like for you. What's most important for you to feel about your experience around food or how you want to feel. There's no right or wrong answer here, so it's really important just that you check in with yourself. Next, I want you to identify where the gap is between how you define a healthy relationship with food and what your current experiences are or your daily actions are around food choices. So what's working to align you with the definition of healthy and what's not working. And then the third step is to take some concrete action. When you've clearly identified what's working, what's not working, or what's not aligned with your definition of a healthy relationship with food, you can then really take to your journal and brainstorm some of the practices that you could implement in your day-to-day life, especially around mealtime. That's really going to support you, and you can also envision yourself doing this day in and day out. So for example, let's say one of your challenges are that you've identified that you often feel really stressed around mealtime. So one practice that you can implement might be is to take, 1 or 2 minutes before each meal and do a few rounds of deep breathing. Just this small little action. Not only will taking some rounds of deep breaths support your body on a physiological level by triggering your parasympathetic nervous system, but it will also help you digest your food a little bit better, and it will also help you be more present and aware and mindful of your mealtime and of your habits, which will also help you put this into practice the next mealtime and the next after that. So it is a nice slow progression. It is going to take some practice, but the more that you exercise this, the more that it's going to support your relationship with food in a positive way. And the fourth step is to pay attention to your emotions, your feelings, and the stories that you're telling yourself around your food choices, and also around your meal times in general. This is so important. When you are starting to pay attention closely to those stories or those beliefs or those mindset patterns, you can really give yourself a lot of insight on what deeply is in your mind about your relationship with food. I'm such a big fan of journaling, you guys know this, but it is such a powerful tool for you to help yourself express those feelings, put them on paper, but also be a little bit of a detective and be strategic about it so that you can understand why these stories come up, what triggers you might have around mealtime, and keeping this can be such a great resource so that you can record, you can look back at it as you are starting to record all of your meals, or at least highlights or significant impacts in your day-to-day. And it also will help you understand where you might be, for example, consuming a food because you're feeling really overwhelmed, anxious, or stressed. It could also be that when you eat foods that you've deemed good or bad, you feel a sense of guilt or pride or shame or regret or any other emotion that's strongly identified with eating, again, said good or bad food. So it really helps you map out what your current mental process is here. And lastly, I just want you to simply observe your thoughts around it. Call it out. Bring awareness to it. As soon as you start to shine a light on those old thought patterns and beliefs and mindsets, or even just feelings, the stronger you're going to become at intervening and taking a very strong action that's more aligned with how you really want to eat and how you want to feel, how you want to live. So know that this takes a lot of compassion, number one, first and foremost, patience, practice, and support to really help you reframe your mindset around your relationship with food and also to fill that gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And in some situations, you might need some professional guidance to really help you through with this. And that is so great because being open to working one-on-one with a qualified and licensed healthcare professional, such as registered dietitians or one of our nutrition stripped wellness coaches, they can really help support you there. They're trained and they're always there to help support you every step of the way, every road bump or every challenge that you might encounter. And remember that this is a journey. It sounds really cliche, but it is so true. Cultivating a healthier relationship with food it takes some time. You're going to have to reframe a lot of old patterns, and it's okay to have days where your inner conversation is completely positive, and it's also okay to have the next day it be more challenging and more negative. It's okay to make big strides, and then it's also okay to have a few mental setbacks. It's part of the journey and it's part of the process. And there's no such thing as all or nothing and no such thing as perfect. And one of the things that can really help support a healthy relationship with food is to create a healthy lifestyle, and one that's fully unique to you rather than following any plans that you see or some idolized way of eating. So be sure to download my guide for the Creating Healthy Habits with Ease. I walk you through this entire process so that you can really help yourself define what a healthy relationship looks like for you, what your wellness vision looks like for you, but also how you can create habits that truly are aligned with your unique health. And this helps you move away from feeling like you need to follow that specific plan or diet. It helps you better emphasize what works for you and what doesn't. So follow the link around this video to download that free guide. And if you liked this video, I always love hearing from you what your biggest takeaway was. So be sure to let me know, and then also subscribe and follow for more videos like this every single week. And if you need a little extra inspiration or you need one-on-one support, absolutely reach out to us at nutritionstrip.com. You'll find hundreds of recipes, articles, and you can also find out how to be connected with one of our wellness coaches if you really want to take that relationship with food to a deeper level. So I hope you have a really beautiful day, and remember, health is a daily practice.